The drone strike that the U.S. says killed Ayman al-Zawahiri is a political win for the White House and a significant accomplishment for the U.S. intelligence officials who located the al-Qaeda leader, planned what was described as a meticulous operation over a period of months. They say avoiding injury to his family or other civilians. Virginia Democratic Senator Mark Warner chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee and joins me now. So, Senator, I assume you were briefed before the strike. Do you have any concerns it could lead to competition among other terror groups or factions to target Americans?
I was appropriately briefed, and I think your description was dead on. I think it was a win for the American intelligence community in terms of pursuing and monitoring Zawahiri. I think it was executed with, as pointed out, no collateral damage. And I think it sends a strong signal, as the president said last night. If you come after and advocate violence, enact violence on Americans, and candidly, Zawahiri did it not just against Americans, but against civilized nations everywhere, we're going to go after you and ultimately take you out. And I don't think we can be intimidated that somehow this is going to throw the jihadist networks into turmoil, and that may create additional threats down the line. I mean, these are people who are against democracies. They are against the education of women. They have a vehement hatred of Americans and the West writ large. And again, I think in some small way, the world is a safer place due to our action.
What about the Taliban? Their leadership clearly knew he was there. It was one of their homes and one of their safe houses. They helped get him there from Pakistan, most likely with the cooperation of Pakistan, at least Pakistani intelligence.
Well, we've known the Taliban were not trusted partners in any way. It's one of the reasons why America and, frankly, many other Western nations do not recognize the Taliban regime. We've seen how they have shut down any freedom for women, cutting off education for women, terrorizing many communities. I still hope, in terms of Pakistan, who has been an ally on many fronts, but has an intelligence service that candidly plays both sides time and again. I don't want to give up on Pakistan, but they in many ways have not always been a reliable partner, as we all know.
I want to talk to you about a domestic issue which has huge implications for our veterans, and you have so many veterans in Virginia. The burn pits legislation stalled in the Senate. Majority Leader Schumer says there's going to be a vote this week, but we're told that Pat Toomey is sticking by his guns on his amendment. How do you see this playing out?
Well, listen, I don't agree with Senator Toomey, but at least I will grant him a consistent opinion. You know, he was against the bill when it got 84 votes. He was one of the 16 senators who voted against it. He may have changed his argument, but as I think I saw in your programming earlier, John Tester, who's chaired the Veterans Committee, this bill has not changed at all. There was a minor sentence to make sure that we didn't violate some of the House procedural rules that was changed that had nothing to do with the kind of mandatory spending that this bill requires to make sure that veterans get what is owed to them. This was, I think, a sense of anger that Republicans had because of the legislation, and I saw Joe Manchin on earlier today, the legislation that Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer put forward on last Wednesday afternoon, I guess it was. I think in a spat of fury, they decided to vote down that legislation, and now are paying the price as veterans groups and Americans are just frankly astonished that internal partisan politics is going to suddenly hold up a veterans bill. I think you're basically seeing the Republicans race and beg to get this bill back on the floor so they can show their support, get it through. But it was a political fumble at best by some of my friends on the other side.
Well, Senator Mark Warner, thank you very much for being with us on a day where certainly U.S. intelligence has a lot to be proud of. Thank you.